Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ETF2L Season 29 Week 1 matchup between Se7en and Aura Elektro. I am Peter. I am joined tonight with Gemm on production, and in the co-casting chair, we have Dom.
Hello.
Hey, Dom.
Nice to be here for the second game this season, if I'm correct.
Yep, there's one other game that's also going on at the same time as this one, so it's like shared second, third. But yeah, this is the second one that we will be streaming. We didn't have enough to get 2 streams going, so we're going to be watching the big Se7en versus Aura Elektro matchup. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think the obvious idea is that it shouldn't be too close overall, and Se7en should obviously win it. Aura Elektro coming from high through the qualifier, finished third last season if I remember correctly. So they were close to making it the quick way into Prem. But they are here regardless of that. They have made slight adjustments to the roster from previous seasons. I think the new additions for this season are Gymboard, or also known as Fee, on Demo, and Callum on Pocket, if I remember correctly. So 2 new players that will join the core that has played for a little while together in High. And while they might not stack up exactly to Se7en's long-term committed players here with really high-level experience in comparison, it should still be interesting to see how far they can push Se7en to try their hardest to win this too.
Yeah, talk about the trial by fire, right? Like the first game in Prem, just like have Se7en. Here you go. Just literally the best team. Like,
you want to play Prem, here you go.
Yeah, it's like maybe this is already where you begin to question your own life. But yeah, let's just go through the rest of Aura Elektro's team here. They have Kelvin on Medic, and then you mentioned Gymbot on Demo Man. Then they have As on, I assume, Roamer.
Yes.
Yes, and then Callum on Pocket. And then they have Navo, a Frenchman, on Scout. And then they have Jinx, an American, on Scout. So that's pretty interesting that they
are playing both Prem and Invert, if I remember correctly, on what team actually? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it was an Invert fan as well.
I don't think it's a top team, but either way, it's pretty cool. Like we've seen a couple of players be able to play both ESEA and ETF2 at the same time. Mercy is the most recent one, but we've also seen like Clockwork kind of play a little bit. And you know, every once in a while you'll get like a player just playing both, so that's pretty cool. And then just for good measure, let's just go over Se7en's lineup. This is the lineup that they will be attending the Rewind LAN, Rewind 2, coming up here at the end of February, I believe. And that was going to be Raymond on Medic, Cadus on Demo Man, Drac on Roamer, Captain on Pocket, AMS and Thalas on Scouts, and AMS will be the Pocket Scout. And that's a really stacked team, and I don't think we need to say that they are indeed the heavy favorites, not only to win this match, but also just to win the season overall. Although they might just fold completely and change roster after Rewind. But yeah.
Who knows? I don't think they know either.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's a complete wild card. But, talking about predictions here, Fantasy TF2 is still going on. And you will have only missed 1 match if you go and make a team right now. So go to fantasytf2.com and make a team if you haven't already. But we are about to go live. So instead of saying whether or not you think who's going to win, I'll just ask you, how many rounds do you think we're going to see out of Aura Elektro?
I want to say this goes to 7 rounds, so they take 2 rounds on Aura Elektro. I'm optimistic here.
Yeah, that's very optimistic. All right, I'll just be the complete pessimist and say it's going to be 5-0, 5-0, and Aura Elektro's going to win like 2 mids or something. And then they'll just get rolled after that. But we are going live for Se7en versus Aura Elektro, Week 1 of the ETF2L Season 29 season. Let's go. Let's see what they do here. See how last checking on rollout, and then we just have probably the normal Cadus rollout here. Gymbot is also very fast, and Cadus actually, I think he messed it up and actually went through.
It looks pretty intentional to me, so a slow approach from Cadus.
Yeah, all right. So, so he just chose to go back that way. This looks like we see a complete right side push here over Elektro. They're sending a soldier very high up, but there's also a soldier on their own medic. Currently, everything is just a complete clusterfuck, basically, because everything gets taken down. There's actually an even now, but Raymond is up. That means that currently or Elektro are one more player, combat player up, but here comes in the push onto Raymond. They need to protect him. Oh my god, they can't quite do it. Jinx will come in there, take him down, although Se7en will take the mid.
Yeah, our Elektro tried to do the classic water thing, but I lost the DuMmTm pretty quickly, and then I think Amps was the one getting straight into the medic space, just pressing W, nobody could stop him. Quite like what happened at the very end, the two scouts, they couldn't deal with them in time. So both medics died, Raymond quite a bit later, which helps our Elektro in the context of Uber advantages out of second. Not a whole lot, probably not enough to push out of, but at least they don't have to worry about Se7en pushing anytime soon as well.
Yeah, right, like, so or Elektro, they don't have to worry about a crit screen or something, right, because the medics spawn like a little bit earlier. So at least crit screen would be very weird coming out from Raymond, and they're gonna know that. So that's like one thing they can check off here. And so they're just setting up, just getting ready to spam. Like you can see Se7en playing pretty far back. As soon as they get Raymond up to 100% Uber, I'm sure they're gonna move forward and try to see if they can actually see him, if they can make some space. But actually we see Jimbot going in through choke pretty aggressively there. I don't know if he was trying to just scout out what was going on, or if he was trying to maybe bait some people forward. But you know, sometimes you actually see people just go through like PC out of there when everyone else is just pressuring and choke. But, yeah, Se7en, we're gonna see if they will fall for it.
Yeah, Se7en now in about one of their most common situations. The stalemate, and Drag the first one to fall here actually.
Yeah, he just suicided in there. And maybe we're going to see a little bit of counter-sack. Yeah, here we go. And actually gets the first nice rocket onto Raymond. No, as I say that, he's actually able to dodge it quite fine. It's a pretty laggy STV, so it's a little bit difficult to see. But that was just a sack and then followed by a counter-sack. We might just see a counter-sack coming in here.
Yeah, Cadis is already aggressive. There goes the soldier straight into the second point. Gets one rocket onto the medic, but not enough to clean that frag up.
Will we see the counter
sack? Yes, exactly. Just soldiers flying through choke points right now.
Oh, as soon as it's actually in. Oh, okay. I thought for a second that he hasn't been spotted, but I mean, if there's one thing we know about Drag is that he's probably just gonna be watching PC a whole lot. Isn't that his whole thing? I'm pretty sure that's just what Cadis tells him to do, and then he has.
I mean, really, PC is just a small door, so.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's kind of Drag's thing. Has he gotten a new rocket launcher? It seems very gold to me. Oh, he's actually going to fight a soldier here in PC. They will both back off, so I got excited for nothing. But,
Zunis just makes him have to worry about it all the time. He's playing pretty aggressively in PC. And as we speak of that, Captain goes in not too aggressively this time, but it gets followed up by a second jump by Drag. Neither would get too far in. Zunis went for something at the same time. None of the soldiers got a frag.
Yeah, Gem, this is very lucky. And so it's not just you see it. So, yeah, it's pretty laggy, but that was a pretty cute play, right? Jumping in Captain just to catch some eyes, and then he goes back out, and then Drag comes in for the real bomb.
It distracts a little bit. Maybe the scouts don't pay attention for a second. Maybe you get like a 30 damage rocket onto the medic, which helps the follow-up jump as well. And as we speak of that, we have a spy on the field on Zunis. So this is their attempt to break the stalemate. I wonder how long could it take them to realize that there's a spy on the field. Not just
he actually spots some really good information here. He just sees everyone, and he's coming up onto the medic. He gets it perfectly. Perfect timing here from Zunis. Takes down Raymond, and he even managed to slip out of there alive. So that's going to be a full Uber advantage for his team, and they're going to go through choke right now.
Just what I wanted to mention. Like, I would have wondered how long they would realize that Zunis isn't there where he used to be, but instead of thinking that's a spy, they just wanted to abuse the opening.
Oh my god, he even gets Cadis as well, so Zunis just on a complete rampage. That's going to make it even more difficult to spam them out here. You know, Se7en, they want to get the Uber out here, but even Captain's just being pushed back. He was holding pretty far forward, and they're just going to have to hold last. And or Elektro, they're doing it. They're making it happen. They're just completely pushing out Se7en.
Yeah, they keep the momentum up for so long. They are already on the way to class, using it from lobby left side. They're heavy, takes a bit of damage, switches off. Raymond getting chased on top. Spice is on the field, point gets played, but Cadis has the keys, blows up 2 people at once. But there's still 4 more around they have to deal with. But so far it's looking pretty good for Se7en.
Yeah, they held that really well, and that's something Seven are just the masters of. We see Jimbot there, not able to get out alive. You'll just die. So I think we might have a pause on our hands. Yeah, it's not this laggy, I don't believe. This is an actual pause.
Did somebody die on 7 during that push?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I want to say yes. Yeah, alright. Apparently the swapping server, so like the lag we see in the STV might be related to the server
That makes
lag.
sense.
Right,
that would make sense if it was that bad. I didn't notice it too much, but then again, my internet is bad all the time, so I probably just am used to it.
Man, you're gonna have a you're just gonna get complete shock when you go to land. And you're like, why is it so smooth? I don't get it.
People with their 5 ping privilege.
Yeah.
All these Dutch people.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to note that Azunis has not died yet.
Yeah, he's playing Spy for so long, and they still haven't found. Well, yeah, they have found him, but they can't keep him.
Like, they can't keep him in their crosshair. He's just gone. Exactly. So, and he's actually in a really good position right now, and like 7, they will probably suspect this.
Yeah, even if he doesn't get something big done, he can still just be such an annoyance behind. Start a back help. Sure, it might get dealt with, but it just draws tension back and slows everything down again.
Yeah, we see AMS is pretty far out at this point, so he's definitely going to try to go on to the point, and I don't think anyone is even in any kind of position to oppose him, so it seems like a certain fact that the point is going to go down in favor of 7 here, assuming that we actually unpause this ever instead of switching server. We'll see. But just assuming that we keep on going here, looks like it's going to be a pretty safe cap. But you know, then there's still the as soon as factor to keep in mind here. But so far he's gotten 2 really nice picks.
Well, the obvious solution in this is playing Pyro. As we all know, that's definitely the best solution to a spy.
Yeah, it's the best solution to a lot in Tier 2 these days. If you're like having trouble with people just rushing you down, just have a Pyro. You'll melt everything. But yeah. I'm still hoping. Oh yeah, we do have an unpause here, and there's only a single soldier on last here, and as soon as he's just gonna take the DM fight, he's just gonna assume that he's at a disadvantage here. Is he gonna just matrix above this rocket? I think he will.
Oh, that's a well-timed pause if I ever seen one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how capped the second is. You know, when you pause, the capture time just keeps on going.
I think it's just about started, so it's pretty low on cap time right now. And there's still people hanging around in show thinking about contesting, but 7, basically with the whole team besides Drag, are already on their way there, so it would be a pretty difficult contestation if they tried.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that you see the Litron shirt on as soon as, so it's not the most damaging gun. Exactly.
Yeah, how much is that? I'm not sure.
I can't remember like the top damage, but like, is it 60 that the normal one does, and then this one does like 50 or 40 or something? So it always feels like you do like 37 damage with it. That's just what I assume. But I don't know. He's a little bit more. He's actually cloaked, but now he's going to be in the face of Cadus, but now he'll just get piped. And 7 they will be making their way into second as well. They'll just keep up this momentum. And currently, there's not a whole lot of healing going on, so people are not all that buffed and not in that good of a position. And yeah, everyone's just going to get spammed out, and 7 will get second.
7 is just threatening in the advantage. They have Viewer, Kevin on his side. Not quite there yet, 70% now. Still enough to keep up the pressure for 7, and they're already starting to make moves through PC. There they go.
Actually, Uber in here very aggressively, but it was read perfectly by Elektro, so they are just out of there. They will almost certainly give up second, and oh no, as I say, they're actually just going to come out here, counter Uber onto them. Well, double scout Uber, and they haven't really found too much. They did find Cadus, that's a really good pick, and they looks like they might get Drag as well. Drag is doing his best to just run away, and he will actually make it out alive.
But what's that? Abs wanted to sneak behind them, and there's a lot of things happening in PC, and a lot of people died. 7, 3 down, but Kelvin died as well.
Yeah.
At the end of this, regardless of the number, 7 had the medic alive, and I assume this was what the pause is, because people left and rejoined the server.
Yeah, we can only hope. I'm just currently switching to another STV, and oh yeah, this one's so smooth. Nice. Yeah, there's another connected mumble if you want to look at that.
Yeah.
That actually works. So yeah, that fixes everything. That's so much more comfortable to look at. So currently Se7en is at a really big advantage. Well, I say really big, it's 50%. That's definitely something you can mess up, and gemm will actually get the pick onto drag here, but Se7en, they will go anyway. They're not going to waste their advantage, no matter if they are a player down. He's going to take down the sentry gun immediately, and now he's edging the point a little bit. At least, there we go, a scout's going to help him out. He's going to force people in there and just getting completely rained on by these rockets and stickies coming out from Cadus and Captain. And looks like currently Se7en, they're not really getting too many kills, but it should just slowly get in there. There we go. Raymond will get the final kill. That's going to be a cap. 1-0 to Se7en.
Yeah, that's a pretty Se7en last push from what I've seen from them. Like, they get in with the Uber, get something out of it. In this case, a 2-for-1 trade, which obviously favors you. They still had picks, and then they just slowly edged out more and more picks from there.
Yeah, very, very, very solid. Cadus is going to be really fast this time around, while good old gemm will be slow. He kind of messed it up a little bit, but not a big deal, I don't think. But, currently, it looks like last time they played right side, and they're going to do the same thing again. And here we go, both soldiers in the sky was actually just crisscrossing above beyond each other, and both of them get a kill. Drag and Cadus going down immediately, and the rest of Se7en are in choke right now, being spammed to death. Raymond, he's almost certainly going to get out, but he's just clinging on to a scout. Orders to be able to get out there, and Flash is actually behind line, but what a mid.
Yeah, Flash has been spotted from Jinx on his way there, and he just gets teamed up on once he arrives on mid. So that's another pick, which will surely mean no contestation on from Se7en on second. And both medics stayed alive. Kelvin doesn't quite have the Uber yet, so they're gonna wait a bit and then probably have to find an advantage some way or another to push into last and deal with the sentry that Amt is eagerly building on the left side, his perspective.
Yeah, Flash is also on sniper. You know, you can never sleep on the Flash sniper, even if it's just like this last hold. And it's not the best last to be a sniper on. Every once in a while, you'll get a snipe on the medic, but you have to go really far in before you actually get sniped. Looks like Asunas tried to get in there, but he makes it out alive again. So it looks like they are on the buff Asunas and then get him to suicide in plan, but we'll see how they actually manage to play it out.
And Flash with a little bit of a head thinking there, switched to spy for a second, checked for whatever off-class they could have had, but most certainly he saw that there's nothing up. So he's back on sniper, still looking for picks, having his eyes actually through rollout. And it works out, he gets Devilman. That is something to work with. You can do lots of things with that. You have much safer entry through just about any doorway without having to worry about sticky traps. You can just throw a counter sag in.
Yeah, like you can actually just go through the door without insta-dying. That's a really nice thing to actually
yeah, not
have
dying is kind of useful in this game.
Yeah, yeah. Like, even for a roamer whose job it apparently seems to be to just die half the time. Like that's kind of how it feels sometimes. So if the last actually goes out pretty aggressively and hits a soldier, but not able to really follow up on that guy.
Drag got overwhelmed in lobby, feeling a bit too comfortable there. Elektro throws people at last. A scout and a soldier together, they end up getting the sentry gun, which might just not be what they were looking for. And Amt has, what is it called, the Frontier Justice. He has crits, and he wants to make use of them. And Asunas has to feel the crits in his face. He does survive though.
Yeah, he was cowering in a corner. He was like, yeah, leave me alone. AMS is now out of crits, but he just went out there to see if he can get anything. You know, if you can just ride a rocket into the medic's face, then you just love your life. But no such thing for AMS this time around. But he's just going to rebuild his sentry gun. Flash will peek a little bit again and roll out.
And off the back of tagging from earlier, Nevo switched to sniper, so he wants to take the sniper fight with Flash. He's already positioned in lobby. And now it's just about who will hit the best shot first.
Yeah, Jinx gonna run into a sentry gun instead. That's 2 revenge crits for AMS. Nemo will actually hit the first headshot onto Thalas, but Thalas just instantly gets an arrow and gets fully buffed. So pretty much a deadlock on that sniper duel. But AMS again, he has those crits if he ever decides to actually destroy his sentry gun. You know, just keep that in mind, just in the back of your head when any push comes around. That's a factor. But currently we just see both snipers holding really passively.
Flash is having a sneaky angle looking into a lobby there. That might just be hard to see the moment you come in, but they made sure they didn't get hit by that, so they're taking back the lobby. And now just a matter of
as soon
knowing
as
how to
fighting
make
Captain, and they did a Roma trade. It's the classic Roma trade. It was a Roma for a pocket, but either
it's
way.
still a soldier, so
Yeah.
close enough.
Close enough, indeed.
But yeah, now it's just a test of our Electro's ability to find advantages and make use of them. And we're sitting here for quite a little while, so it's not been working out too well. They resorted to the sniper now, but Nevo's just going aggressive as he can, and neither him nor Flash hit each other for quite some time now, so he just goes even deeper, tries to get the shot onto Raymond, doesn't work out. Eventually he gets taken down by Captain in rollout.
I'm gonna end up calling Captain Mr. Steak at some point because he has that in his name. Captain tries to go back home, but it was completely stickied up. So currently it's 2 down for Aura Elektro and 1 down for Se7en.
And Drag is all the way behind after they made some space off of the picks. But he got spotted by Nevo, so they are worth it. And if you're really fast, you can treat it like a pick. But you need to be still very aware of Drag being behind you. Potentially coming in any moment.
On this map, right? Because process almost more than any other map. If a soldier is somewhere behind you, he can be very close to you very fast because of all the ramps you can slide on and just do quick, massive skip jumps. So you can't really see one. Drac is now in front of them and they have picked him off and will get him as soon as Bill and Herrera get taken down by Falas. And now Falas is way outside here trying to take down his demo man. He is being pressured quite a bit and will finally get taken down, but Uber has actually come out first from Se7en after they lose 2. So this hold is looking really good for Aura Elektro, and we see Jinx on through the medic here, doing his best, just going to meat shot Raymond down. Now they're going to come into last. Here comes the sentry gun. These revenge crits better kill literally everybody. No, Amos will just get taken down. Could this be it? The equalizing round for Aura Elektro against Se7en? It is!
Yes, they managed to pull it off. Se7en hesitated a bit on the push out, and I think that's what costed them the round in the end. They had a good opportunity, they had the 2 picks on the scouts. Flash was the first one in, he got a decent headshot, but from there everything just took too long, and the Uber was just really bad, didn't get too much done. And our Elektro hadn't had to use until they were way into last. And with that we have another bit fight.
Yeah, Jimbot and Cadus will actually be fighting it out pretty directly here, but Cadus gets jumped, so he will retreat quite a bit. He's about half health before he gets the arrow. Or Elektro, once again, they're going to go for the same right side strategy, but Drac jumps in very aggressively, and then Captain shortly follows. Raymond gets jumped by a soldier, but he just surfaces away. And at this point, it's 2 down for Aura Elektro, and at this point, they just need to get out. They do manage to get Drac to try to jump in there, but I think, yeah, middle is definitely over, but also, this is just a question of can they actually hold second, right?
They're moving really far back, so it doesn't look like they want to. At least not immediately. They don't have numbers just yet either. Nevo's peeking in a little bit, with some other people here and there spamming some rockets, but without numbers, it's really not looking like much they can do anymore. And they wanted to pretty much do what they did the last few times on mid, but as soon as couldn't execute a proper dump, he was taken down too early. Callum's bomb itself didn't do too much around either, and they just got stuck on the right side corner.
Yeah, I also want to just point out, oh, it's actually a scout in very aggressively. That's a suicide. Yeah, it looks like Falas wants to play sniper, so he just...
yeah, exactly. This is probably one of the most predictable things in the game.
Yeah, we actually have
Scouts even around,
yeah. This should also be predictable at this point for Se7en. But, you know, it's not that common for people to go spy on last when holding it, so they might not see it coming.
Ooh, but Flash says that he has the big up range, so he goes by himself and spawn and checked for it.
Ah, is he still in spawn though?
Yes, he's just checking everything. I'm currently looking at him. He's just in this puff of smoke, and then he goes sniper.
As soon as he's actually gone for it. Yeah, and he will just stab the medic once in the face and then actually get out of there without taking a single point of damage. I don't understand how that's even possible. Falas has gone sniper and he's moved forward, but yeah, as soon as he's still behind, somehow he's just completely incapable of dying on spy. I'm not quite sure how he does it.
Who needs the Deadwinger when you are the Deadwinger?
Yeah, that's just as soon as Falas is in 1. He will see a soldier here, but he will just end up being spammed out. And currently Se7en, they are just looking behind them all the time. They have basically a scout on that duty. We'll see.
If we're talking just about like the big upset points, then our Elektro theoretically could be happy with just stalemating here for the next 12 minutes, but I don't think Se7en really would enjoy that, both on a gameplay side as well as pride side, not winning 2 maps against a team that just made it into Prem when you're looking to get into the, well, maybe not the, but one of the biggest lands this year for sure in terms of team attendance or quality of teams, I should say.
Yeah, and also it's the one where you really want to just be, oh my god, Azunas did it again! He just snuck up behind Raymond and took him down, and then he still didn't die. He never dies. And he's out.
And they knew about it the entire time as well.
Yes, they knew. It's a good point.
They just were sloppy for a moment, and Azunas finds the right opening.
And Cadis has gone down as well. Gets rushed down by a Demoman and a Scout. The Soldier in the choke here just completely boxing out everyone from 7. Flash hasn't died, but he's been doing a good job of retreating, which will make pushing in through choke here quite uncomfortable for Kelvin, but you know, it's going to be really good push outcome here. 7, they're actually holding pretty forward here, so they just want to push it out. Nice air shot there onto Calum as he jumps in from Drak, but yeah, still 7, they just slowly but surely get pushed out, but the Gymbot has actually gone down. That's the Demoman down and the Medic as well.
Nobody has an eye on Flash in PC, and they refuse to use, and they didn't have much of a reason to do until now. But Flash just says to them that maybe you should have used way long ago.
Yeah, it's Drak just completely shuts down Callum as he tried to jump in there, and that was just such a big turnaround coming out. Oh my god.
Yeah, and the moment they gave them a chance on Elektro, the moment the picks came in, 7 was just all over it, and now they almost have as well. They're already making a move to last. People just now respawning, still just 5 up. 7 just slowly walks in from right side lobby. You is very late in this as well. Kelvin has no chance against Cadis' pipes, and you were still on. Gymbot falls it as well. They're stacking the point.
Soldier comes in very aggressively though, and Nebo, can he do everyone? No, Raymond will be again the one to get the final kill before the round ends. So Raymond is really all about that glory kill before the round ends. But that
there's nowhere to run from Raymond's source if you actually can't go anywhere, because you have to stay on a point.
Yeah, but what a huge turnaround that was. Like, that was looking really good for Aura Elektro. They were pushing middle, and then all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, it just...
Yeah, nobody had an eye on Flash. Nobody wanted to contest him either.
Yeah, for last, doing it that round, Cadis was pretty fast. He kind of got pseudo-jumped there by an Aura soldier. But again, Drak is just on the enemy rock, just raining down on them, just boxing them out. Here comes in Captain from the front, and then Cadis hits 2 nice pipes, take down 2 players, and now it's just gonna be all about taxiing out this medic, but no, Kelvin's not getting out of that. Alright, that was a perfect mid from 7 all of a sudden, so maybe...
Yeah, Drak is just jumping the walk, just staying there, not necessarily even hitting the biggest damage. He's just there distracting, putting the eyes on him in second, except not on the rest of his team, and it's just pulling so much value up.
7 is already on last. They're just completely locking out these doors. There you go. Yeah, that was just a complete roll around after they perfectly aced that middle. But yeah, like Drak did that. He's basically done that a couple of times. Like, how can they actually stop that?
I mean, it kind of has to do with the fact that they do go right side most times on mid with most of the team. So there's not much hindering him from staying there, because if they wouldn't, there would be so much more contestant for him to stay there with scouts around him. So it's just a good counter strategy.
Yeah, Soldier has actually jumped behind. That's as soon as he's in the enemy sewer, and Drak did spot it. But there we go, that's going to mean Captain will be able to deal with him. Good job by Captain not dying there. But here comes Drak in very aggressively. He tries to get Captain, but oh my god, Captain just gets completely bossed around by Flash in the air.
Yeah, Flash and Amps on the mid just basically acting as one scout, just shooting the same things over and over again. Nothing, never. And Callum could do that at the end of that. And 7 just keeps up the momentum really well. They're already looking to get something else, and they get Kelvin. He couldn't escape into spawn from the X rockets, and that's just what they were looking for. So now they have a big advantage to bring to last, and some free picks as his Jinx probably wanted to get a force out, but at that point it would have been too late, more likely than not anyway.
Yeah, and now 7, they're just slowly adding this point. There is a Pyro on it, and that actually does add a ton of damage. So they're actually, for now, has actually managed to hold it off on last, and a nice spot there. Oh no, Soldier just come behind, just breaks their heart. That was actually very close to being a very clutch last hold, but man, just Drak comes in and ruins their day.
Drak definitely having decent games so far, and in general 7 just really making sure they get like as much value out of the bit wins here as possible, pushing all the way to last. Now, another mid fight. Drag goes instantly onto the demo. Azuna's just kind of doing the same thing, but much more passive. But at the end of the day, he gets more damage. But the medics arrive, damage gets the day hit. Drag goes in behind, throws some damage, goes into choke behind them, and they don't want to deal with that. And he's still there, dealing so much damage.
Yeah, the 7 soldiers just did such a huge bomb in there, really well coordinated. And now the combined aggression, like Raymond, he's still not quite out of the woods. The Nabo is behind, and the demo man is behind as well. Oh my god, that was almost unfortunate, I guess.
Small little air shot as well at the end of that for Captain.
Yeah, he also got an air shot at the earlier in the middle, so a really strong mid from him. But yeah, it was almost unfortunate there by Jinx and Jimbot, because Jimbot kind of shot the medic away from Nabo's meat shot. So a bit unfortunate.
That was also pretty late deaths, but Se7en not quite fast enough to capitalize off of that. And they're just sitting here, healing everybody up with a buff to prepare for last. We had a pyro for a second, but that's gone now, so now the class is on last. Uber comes in from left side. Cadus throws some stickies at top. Kelvin is super weak. Amps, however, the first one to fall in a fight. Here to some stickies from Jimbot. And with that, Se7en kinda want to make their way out of last. They didn't get too many picks, or any for that matter, on their way in.
Se7en have just retreated out now. I think they're just waiting for people to go out there and walk into a trap, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So Se7en, they have stabilized. I don't know if they're going to move in again, but for now they're just holding pretty far back. Probably acutely aware that they have an uber disadvantage.
Yeah, they do need to pay attention to that for now, since they are at a roughly 40% disadvantage. Still, our Elektro is in lobby, building the rest of the Uber up, and they definitely want to push. The Uber comes out in lobby. Sticky Trap juggles the demo man around a little bit, but they don't care, they want to go deep with the scout. But Se7en just slowly walks away from them, and there's not much they can do about it once the Uber has faded. Callum gets spotted in sewer, he gets taken down by 2 or 3 people there, and that's a pick to move forward with. Flash is already all the way in, chases down as soon as into lobby. Has a fight with Nevo, kinda was losing it, so he just went away, and Nevo couldn't stay there with all of Se7en slowly making their way to second. Jinx, however, manages to be all the way behind while this is happening, and I don't think Se7en is aware of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be enough, but he has engaged this back cap here, and there's a lot of stickies on the point. Se7en, they're not really able to cap it in time. They need to go very quickly, but no, they have actually taken down Jinx. Flash will come out there and clean him up, and now all of a sudden it's just all Se7en just cleaning everyone up. And that's going to be that. It's going to be 5-1 in favor of Se7en, so they have begun to get rolling here after a very shaky start.
Yeah, they have found all the momentum. I think that was like 3 rounds or maybe 4, just pretty straight from mid to last from Se7en to make sure that they just win this as quickly as possible now.
Let's see, Jimbot's actually, he just decided to walk to mid after doing the initial jump. It's interesting, as soon as he's in there very fast, Cadus is also slow. So both demos just really opting to go slow on this middle. We'll see. So far, like 7 soldiers have taken quite a lot of damage, but wow, perfect timing there from Drak as he just comes in and takes down Nebo as he's on the medkit. And now Se7en, they're just moving across the point here, just taking the high ground as their own. At least they're trying to. The last are also just playing together with AMS really well with their medic. So currently Se7en, it looks like they're like one less person in the fight, just playing together so well right now. It's just looking very, very difficult.
Drag jumps in, goes down, and with Drag's bomb not being successful, they don't want to stay here any longer. So they decide to leave, not taking too many risks. Drag has an 8-second respawn. The question is just if Elektro want to do something with that, and with the time slowly ticking against them, doesn't look like they're gonna be able to.
Yeah, it's physically impossible to win here, but you know, they can still
get another round. They can still make my prediction correct.
Yeah, like mine was already way wrong.
And obviously you get everybody some fantasy points if they bank on these players.
Yeah, obviously. Kato's going to jump in very aggressively. He tries to get the medic, but they'll not get him. He will be flashed just in time here. Raymond to get saved. That was a very aggressive in there. And Nabel will actually just out-DM Drak in PC, so that has gone down. And now Se7en are down 2 players. Going to have to wait a little bit more longer before Captain can rejoin the fight. And it's actually really aggressive pushing here from Elektro. This is like a pretty good push. But Katus hits a nice pipe on, which will rebuff him again to fall back. And Kelvin has gone down as well to Katus, so no more heals coming out from Elektro. And that's going to mean the end of that fight.
Elektro had to put up so much focused fire to even get as much damage as they did onto amps, who seem to have been their target. But even then, with like 3 or 4 people in the push, they couldn't even manage to get frag. That frag, and Se7en was just all over that, getting 3 people in total.
You see Navo in spawn as a sniper. This is the classic spot, where you just body shot someone, but no, he's not. Oh my god, he was so close to dying. He just managed to switch in time. Se7en there just moving in onto second here. They have a full Uber advantage. What they do, of course, need to capture second. Otherwise, you're going to do a Dignitas push. You don't want to do that. But here we go. Uber's going to come in, going to take in the scout and the demo man, and even a little bit of a soldier flash coming in as well. Sentry gun has gone down immediately, but so far that's all they have. And we actually see Kelvin on Kritzkrieg, about 10% remaining until that's going to be in effect. And here we go. It's about to come in. Oh, it's too late. Oh.
Yeah, another of those like slower approach pushes. Get something with the Uber and then just slow it down, reload, heal your people, and just play off the picks you had from the Uber. Worked quite well. Drag came in slow from rollout, I think, and just took the opening that there was nobody on left side aggressively holding anymore, so he just could come in for free, jump into them, deal some more damage, and time on a point while this was happening. And that is the game.
Yeah, very solid. And let's look at some logs to tell us what actually happened in this game. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how many mids or Elektro won. I think it was like 3. Oh, looking at logs, it says 2. But at least 3 very close mids.
Yeah, they had a decent showing on mids, all things considered.
Yeah.
Like when the soldiers were able to get the plays done, then things were like going away completely on the mid fights. Se7en made mostly a good job of dealing with those, not on all mids, hence the mid wins for Elektro.
Yeah, I feel like there was just this DM and teamwork difference between, like, if you look at Cadus and Jimbot, they both had good damage, right? They both top damage for their teams, but then Cadus has 21 kills, whereas Jimbot has 8. And that just kind of shows that it's probably a bit of a focus fire issue, right?
Yeah,
like, I know DemoMan doesn't.
Oftentimes when you have just like a really not too close game, and then it's just when you look at the logs and sort them by kills or damage, it's just really the top half is the one color and the bottom half is the other color. With kills, it's kind of like that. With damage, not really. We have Jimbot on second top damage. Not Tempest, that's just attack. Jinxed and the Zunis still making or dealing more damage than both Drag and Amps, respectively. So there was a decent showing from our Elektro to contest that, and for the longest time it was still pretty even on the scoreline. Eventually Se7en found their footing, and then from then it just became a really quick game.
Yeah, it sort of turned into what we expected, but it took Se7en a while. They might be more rusty than we'd think as an established team. They did take a season off. We see the heal stats, and yeah, both demos getting the most heals. They also got the most damage. And then we see the Pocket Scouts and Jinx and AMS. AMS as a Pocket Scout seems sort of weird. Like, he played the very passive, halfy cool role, I explain it as. And yeah, this is extremely similar things. And then drops, of course, Raymond had 2 of them to the Spy.
Feels bad, man. But, you know, when you know that it's there and then you stop paying attention for a second, that's what happens.
Yeah, we've all been there. Like, we just look behind us literally like 99% of the time, and then we just like sneeze or look ahead for like a millisecond, then we just get backstabbed just like that. But yeah, look at the kill difference between the teams.
Quite a bit, even the damage, just such a difference.
Yeah, it's probably not as bad in the first round when you look at it. Yeah, like Jinx was just going crazy in the first round.
Yeah, and you can really see that just Se7en took a while to get into this game. The first round just 11 minutes, and then every round until they were 4-1 up just gets shorter and shorter.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And they had the really quick 1-minute round there as well. And then the best stat around, which is the Nemesis stat, is where you see Cadus was owning as soon as real bad. He killed him 8 times and he only got killed twice. That's a +6 kill difference. Same with AMS and Callum. A scout owning a soldier. Actually, Callum is the pocket, right? So
yes.
Yeah, so that's the one pocket player owning another pocket player. That should probably tell you that something is happening in those fights. That seven are
I think a
down.
couple of those came from just sacks, especially in last where there was a couple of situations where they just went in with the pocket, and all he could find was Captain, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it's fair enough. And we see, or Elektro actually did pretty well here on second. That's interesting on their own second. Apparently they performed all right, but otherwise we can see plus 20 on middle. That's very interesting because it started out looking pretty bad for Se7en, and then they just completely made up for it in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. And the slower first half of the game definitely showed like just the experience difference in terms of being able to create advantages. Our Elektro had a good chunk of the first part of the game to make a push happen into last, but they just couldn't manage to get any meaningful advantage in their favor to be able to push out of, or into last, I should say.
Yeah.
And Se7en obviously managed to do that in both of the slower rounds that they won, the first and the third one. And then from there, once they had found their footing, just the mid fights were just such a big difference.
Yeah, indeed. But that was process. It went sort of how it was the expected result with a little twist on it, so to speak, with or Elektro actually impressing a little bit, doing better than at least I expected. You were pretty close in your prediction. I was not. But moving on to Sunshine. Sunshine is a pretty different map, at least in some regards. Like, do you think or Elektro is going to continue to impress us, or is Se7en just completely in gear at this point?
If they keep up the momentum from last game, then Se7en should have definitely a better start. Sunshine, in general, has some similarities to Process, sure, but then there's just things like second and last, how things play out there, that are just really different. So I think the mids could be interesting, since they had a good showing on Process for a long time, and it's a similarly open map in that regard, for mid-fights especially. You can jump high, you can jump wherever you want really as a soldier to find any advantages to work with.
Yeah, so the middle is...
Oh no, you go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the middle is a pretty good scout middle as well. It's not the best scout middle, but you can absolutely just deny some soldiers, or there's just a lot of open space where you can see soldiers coming from a mile away. So you can really get them. But like if a soldier's up in the bell tower in the middle, like you can't really do too much about it as a scout. Like you can climb up the houses. That's mainly where the power position is for a scout. But if a scout is just on the floor, he's not actually all that scary. Like he's still a scout who's fast and he can kite and all that, but it's not nearly as dangerous. So if you can get like scouts up on the high ground, that's usually when the middle is lost. So they need to really stop the last on AMS, and that's easier said than done.
Definitely, really good players on Se7en, and Elektro on Process did a decent showing considering it's the very first game in Prem as a team, and I think for everybody as an individual player except gemm. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's a true fact.
I think Callum has been in Prem before. I want to say he's been in Prem. Or maybe he's just been at some lands or something. I'm not actually sure.
Oh, no input on I-61. That was a team that actually had a decent showing on that LAN. It put up quite the fight against the invite seeded teams. But regardless of that, the map's gonna start. We're heading straight into the game. Sunshine, Ida, taking it away.
See, Kata's going through, and he will actually hit the slide in there. So that's nice. We've seen some soldiers do some really neat jumps in fast with roamers, where they just do a bunch of slides and flowers. We've seen nothing of that so far. Cap is going to take the high ground here. You will get jumped. He's just going to jump away, or at least get into another high ground. And Se7en, they're just holding strong right now. They've actually managed to take down the red medic immediately right now. Drag has gone down in return.
gemm with the fast bomb into the medic. Nobody could stop him in time, and he gets the counter-frag on the medic. Our Elektro still puts up a little bit of a fight, after that, but once Kelvin died to Drag going in behind them, it was just about getting the medic to prevent a straight roll into last. And they got just that, some extra frags as well, which just further slows 7 down, potentially gives them a chance on second.
Yeah, indeed. We see basically the spawners are going to come up here a little bit too early for 7 to be able to go out there. We saw AMS chase really far in and actually get a kill on the soldier, but then he just ran back out again because he knew there were going to be spawners. But the 7, they're actually just going to be able to get in through choke here basically for free. Cadence is in so deep. Two soldiers are going to meet in the air.
Drag goes deep on the point, gets a nice shot onto Jinx. And 7 still hanging around choke, slowly making their way forward. Drag the only one to fall, and he traded for a scout, which is pretty good, all things considered. Good rocket by Captain as well. Just saving his life barely there. And 7 just slowly moves forward, straight onto Kelvin. Jimbot barely hanging on with his life. And Captain wanted that frag really badly, but there was scouts contesting him. Jinx took a lot of damage from that on the hams there to follow up. And this is just so many
what a
frags
pipe from Cadence. Callum just jumps out there, but it's actually no cap on second.
Yeah, Jimbot was going behind after he didn't get taken down there by Captain and blocked second for quite a long time. Not enough time, however. 7 still takes the point, and no reason besides Nevo could come out in time to contest that.
Yeah, not quite enough. It was a pretty nice attempt there to block second and just completely moot the point. Just make 7 sit on forward, not really doing anything, but it was just barely enough. That's going to make it 1-0 for 7 here. Go to another middle. Let's see if we're going to see any shenanigans or any interesting rollouts here. Yeah, we see Drac with the really fast rollout. He's on the enemy roof already. I don't think he's been spotted either. There we go. He's going to jump onto the medic immediately. He actually misses him with the rocket, but he finds the demo man instead, so maybe that wasn't a miss. See a soldier in the bell tower for Aura Elektro, so he has a lot of good ground. Kate has been taken down. Here comes the second soldier in very aggressively onto the medic. Hits nice first rocket, but gets taken down by the scouts, and then the second scout comes in here. Jinx and Nabo both get taken down, and that's going to be a mid for 7.
And despite Drag not getting his desired target, Kelvin, right away, he just came in late again from behind. They didn't see it coming. He still took down the medic. 7 had a little bit of trouble with soldiers on top for a little bit there, but nothing they couldn't deal with in the long term. So another strong mid from 7, and they're already all the way on second, capping that off with full Uber advantage into last. Nevo sniping, looking for a pick. Jinx on the engineer, building a sentry to deal with this Uber as much as they can.
I really love that we're seeing roamers do that really fast rollout through flowers where they just do a slide on the ground. But anyway, I'll talk about that later as we have an Uber coming in here. Going to be a soldier and a scout Uber on the right side. Cadus is in there as well. You will get flashed as a soldier. That was Callum, just jumps in there. Makes them flash a whole bunch. And now there's a heavy who's taking no damage. That 7 are going to have to focus down. And there we go. They focus down fast. And now they have time on the point. And that's going to be it. 2-0 for 7.
Yeah, interesting stuff from back on the mid, like you mentioned. It's always good to see people go for different things. Many times you see just people do like the same mid every time, and as long as it works, it's perfectly fine. But just keeping the enemy on the toe can mean so much for their ability to actually adapt to what you're doing.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Chris that was doing that rollout yesterday in the for Ascent. I think it was, but yeah, he was also doing that. But Drac, once again, is going to go behind here. He's the scouter that says Captain would like to get an air shot onto Callum. He just jumps in there, makes his presence known. Now 7, they're playing together really well on their own side here. They're just really holding it tight together. And now they're about to have a soldier come in from behind. We're seeing Drac here onto the demo man, just going to bounce him into the enemy team. There we go. Cadus will actually finish him off, and now there's a scout in the choke, and that's going to be it for 7. That flank from Drac, man.
Yeah, and you could see he wanted the medic, but he saw there was too much in front of him, so he just changed target pretty quickly and focused immediately from everybody on Jimbot as well now, and wins them the mid pretty convincingly after that. They didn't lose Kelvin this time around, which will change how this will play out quite a bit, since now 7 has to see if they can get a meaningful advantage to work off into last. Nevo sniping to find just that for his own team. But no further off to speak of on either team, and we're just gonna see how 7 will approach this.
Oh, Drac is actually way in deep. I thought we were gonna see a push, but it looks like it's not.
Well, they're contesting this so aggressively as well from the right side, and they dealt really a lot of damage to Kelvin, but couldn't get quite enough. Kate is overextended for it as well.
they had Kelvin in a corner. He was just literally standing in a corner, and they were Se7en. They were just desperately trying to actually force onto him, but they couldn't do it. But here comes the Uber out, and Captain actually just jumps out of there. Really well done. And Raymond is out of there as well. Falas might be caught in though. No, he was actually Cal that was caught in with him, and now Se7en, they're going to be able to come out here and contest it. Really nice hold here from Se7en.
Yeah, they barely lost anything there. Our Elektro has no Uber now to speak of, while Se7en already moves their way in from the right side into last, and just slowly making their way forward, throwing some damage over. Uber used pretty late while the point gets played, forces everybody on it. Or at least the soldiers try to contest this as much as they can. Se7en struggles to find any frags though for a long time here.
Yeah, they're slowly gaining ground though. Here comes Captain. He has full health, and Raymond again with the glory kill, just every time. Whenever Raymond gets a kill, they get the cap. It's pretty funny. But yeah, just Se7en just slowly edging it out there. Not the cleanest push, but if it works, it works. And it barely did there, so. Se7en up, 3-0. So we move on to another middle.
Yeah, interested to see what they shows this time. Drag, this time, taking a much slower approach.
Yeah, Cadus was fast though. So Drag is he was only slow for so long. He's just gonna jump into the midst of the enemy team, and he did do a bunch of damage, but he went down pretty quickly as well. So this is actually looking pretty bad for Se7en.
But Elektro finding all these valuable frags. Soldier down, Scout down, the medic down, and now they're just having to fight off the last remaining players on Se7en to protect their medic. Level that are going pretty weak, but neither Cadus nor Amps can find the pick they wanted here.
Cadus might have to kill himself here.
Yeah, he's just kind of stuck there.
Oh, he took like no damage from that Scout. The Scout beat him, and then AMS
back
comes
in. Nice play from Jimbot, but couldn't save his Scout, unfortunately. And Cadus is still just looking for a way to get out of mid. But at this point, his team has arrived. He gets taken down now, and that's 2 down on 7 now. So their plans of helping him out there by just contesting the mid point not quite working out anymore. And Elektro with quite a bit of Uber advantage, already moving themselves through Fairly or Flowers. So just throwing some damage their way, but they can't stay there for too long. And Se7en just holding really passively already all the way in the lobby. Elektro can just pretty much take this for free.
Yeah, will they, however, be able to make it into last? They have a 10% advantage, which is not really something you can push on. And Raymond, he has his Uber now, and the sentry gun is up. So this is going to be a pretty difficult push for him or Elektro. They're going to have to get a pick like that. They make Captain overextend. I think they bounced them into them with the stickies. So Captain either unlucky or just overextending right there. So that's a good start. Let's see how Elektro responds to this.
Well, looks like the first thing on the list seems to be getting Sentry off of the play, but Falash is making a good job that not many projectiles are making their way actually.
Oh, Drax behind actually. Oh, he actually gets one rocket onto the Meg. No, okay. Kelvin just killed Drax. I don't think they realized that Drax was
that while that was happening, Flash just took down a Scout in that small area from top left, his perspective, just flamethrowing him down. Jinx couldn't run anywhere, which is basically the counter frag instantly, and I don't think we'll see anyone do any off of these picks anytime soon. And Se7en just holding on to last for now. They have themselves comfortable on last with a sentry of Amps and Flash on a pyro, just being annoying, preventing damage to come into his team.
Oh, we have the high ping sniper, however, going on here for Jinx. It's been a while since I've seen a high ping sniper play in EU. I can't remember actually one. Like I've seen Clockwork snipers on. It always looks so funny. But Falas is out really far here. Will dodge the first sniper shot, and now he's lit the sniper on fire, which is one of the most annoying things to happen when you're a sniper, because it will make your crosshair just jump all crazy. Just going to continue to be buffed here and see if you can actually get out there, get in, and get that shot off.
The obvious solution is definitely playing rock, paper, scissors with off classes and get a heavy on the field to deal with the pyro. But I don't think they want to go that deep into the mind games with Se7en.
At some point, Falas has got to run out of rock or of ammo, right?
No, there's an ammo pack directly behind him.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Is that actually a medium? I thought it was a small one.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a medium one as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then he's probably going to be fine. My bad. Yeah, so Jinx tried to get in there, see if he could get a good look, but the only look he really got
But
was the end
Flash
of the
is
rocket.
moving forward instantly with this, and there's not too much a soldier can do as long as you prevent your his rockets from hitting you. So Flash takes on as soon as this works, just making you move forward. He hadn't been noticed. He just comes in from behind.
Oh no, he's on the medic! Oh my god, that was close.
That almost looked like Never wanted the medkit as well, and it would have been quite funny if Calvin would have died because of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, that didn't quite work out, but that was close. Like, just the fact that Flash would get that far behind is scary to think about.
And without the pyro, Elektro was instantly like trying to do what they were doing, or trying to do the whole time, namely throwing damage from top right into the sentry. But they still can't find the sentry pick they want to use. Instead, Gemmod gets taken down in return, and the push is cancelled. Drax is moving his way into second, just looking for a counter seg. Finds just a little bit of damage onto Calvin.
I think it's worth mentioning that the squad shot actually kills stickies.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I remember, I'm pretty sure I've seen some Se7en scrims on Cadus' stream, where they actually abused that to get stickies off the point and push last. And that's quite interesting. You see that with the quickie bomb launcher, but not that much with pyro.
Yeah, it's a lot more costly to go pyro, or at least.
Well, if it's like Badlands, which I think it was where I saw it, you can just do that and then air blast people off the point, which is at least the idea. But obviously, you first have to get there to pyro. So it can work, but you really need to have a good.
Yeah, like you can kind of make it in bottom left, right?
I think the maps where that could work would be Badlands and Gullywash, just based off how the point is laid out.
Yeah, Jinx just tried to go in again here, but he got spammed up pretty convincingly. As Thalas is down to 2 HP. He did himself manage to get quite a lot of damage, and oh my god, Jimbot just got completely juggled by the squad shot, and then he just got taken down. That was really sad for him.
Basically a double seg. Both teams lost 2 people each. But obviously this is much more easy to deal with on Se7ens, and they don't have to go anywhere right now. It just wastes time for our Elektro. And move his sentry up all the way into lobby.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, Jinx just got completely demolished right there by Captain. That was pretty funny to look at. Flash is again trying to maybe get out there as his pyro. Yeah, he's going to go underneath right now, and there's no one actually looking at it, so Flash is just sitting there and waiting.
Well, if he decides to kill the soldiers, he would have had the biggest opening right now.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he doesn't map hack, and he's just going to find a single soldier, and he jumps away. Alright, well, if he had just map hacked a little bit, he could have gotten that, but turns out he doesn't.
Never at least scouted out the sentry there. They know where it is now. Now they probably won't just walk into lobby not paying attention to that. As soon as it's already spamming it, Flash not paying attention to that, so the sentry will be taken down. And that's one thing less to worry about.
Yeah,
and Captain also wants to go in through Shudder, and he just gets taken down immediately. Flash also overextends, and Se7en is just feeling themselves ever so slightly too comfortable in lobby, and they have to pay.
Kelvin's gonna Uber in here, basically takes a scout first, and now it's just a matter of can he prevent getting juggled in there. Looks like the answer is yes. He got separated a little bit by his team.
Jinx had such a big opportunity to just stand on a point and force everybody on Se7en back. Still, they got 2 frags on the soldiers to work with. They're making their way back into last, and that seems to be enough for now. Nobody else fast enough to block the point, and that was really avoidable from Se7en, and really lucky to not have lost this seconds ago when Jinx actually just focused the soldier and then go back instead of going on a point.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen Captain sort of overextend and just gets taken down, and then Cadus just did the exact same thing right after. So Se7en, they kind of gave that one away, and that's another round. And I believe that was technically what you said, right?
Yeah, so of course, of course that's what I wanted to mean, that they win 2 rounds this entire set.
Draxin, no, that's Captain up there on the enemy high ground. He will crater. That was actually still Drag. I'm dumb. I can't tell the difference.
Well, he went in from the other side, didn't get too much done, quite a bit of damage, but he's still behind, no contestant. Calvin took a lot of damage, Captain comes in for round 2, gets it this time. Se7en, however, lost 3 people in the process. They still have heals, however, and Elektro just kind of looking to find the way into Raymond.
Oh, it's just Jinx against AMS and Medic. Yeah, AMS is gonna eventually decapitate Jinx as he goes for the med pick here. Raymond will survive with about 50 HP on the middle. So, yeah, Se7en, that was a pretty bad mid. They lost a lot of players, but they had a scout, and a medic alive. That's basically the two most important classes to have at the end of a fight.
Yeah, and they just made a damn good job that Raymond stayed alive. Much like last time on like that one end of the process mid, where Raymond dodged like all of the damage coming his way from a scout and a demoman.
They're slowly making their way in here. Se7en, they still have that about 60 to 50% advantage that they can use however they like. Let's see, it looks like they're going to go in through the right side with a demo man, a soldier, and a scout who just flash liberally. They just want to get them in there without...
Never looked like he came out right as he was about to enter his spawn into safety, so he gets taken down.
That's sad. But Se7en are actually kind of beefing this. Captain gets completely destroyed by Callum. Stop on that high ground.
Se7en from behind though wanted to get onto Calvin. Doesn't quite manage to find a good entry. Kaelis just jumps over them, pressures him a little bit. Not too much damage though, and he has to leave as well. Takes a lot of damage on his way out. Still not dead yet. And Jinx gets taken down before he can find his way.
On like 7 HP, he somehow got out of there alive. He's still very, very weak, but
yeah, Flash and Amps just made sure that nobody left lobby basically.
And they're just in again. Like, I think they just want the Uber out of Kelvin. Just hopes that he loses his nerve as a drag just goes in there, hits a massive rocket onto a scout. But no, not quite going to be enough. And the enemy medic was just hiding in spawn. Kelvin just safe as can be inside of spawn, just playing it safe. He kind of recognized that that was just what they were going for. So now it's going to be on them to see if they can make it out there alive. But Ubers are even at this point, but there we go. They will be exchanged anyway.
Yeah, our Elektro are the ones taking the exchange here, but Se7en, as a response to that, has these later, has quite a bit better Uber. Raymond, however, gets stuck between two soldiers, so both medics go down at the end of this, and our Elektro still want to keep up the fight here. People die all over the place, but our Elektro has better numbers, only drag around still, and he's kind of behind them, not really wanting to go for the back cap either, but spawns would be coming up regardless of that, so I don't think it would have been the right decision either way.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Flash is on sniper at this point, and Ubers are pretty even. It's about 15 to 10% advantage coming up from Kelvin, and they are also pushing into a sniper, so I think it's going to be very difficult for them to push in there just off of the Uber advantage. But
but speaking of advantage, the reason why Kelvin has the advantage is because it's crit squeak.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we saw them use it once before and it didn't really work out. But hopefully they have better luck this time around. They are pushing into a sniper, so that always makes it a lot more difficult. But they're about to get it right now. It's actually the quickie bombs as well, so there's going to be some real quick stickies.
As soon as one of them also finding an entry pick for this.
Here it comes. First sticky hits nothing. They still haven't even found a medic. And these crit stickies have done nothing. And here comes the counter Uber from Raymond. And this just got shot down so effectively by Se7en. Really good job by them. Cadis will just clean up. He is being pressured by two scouts.
Getting up on in Valley here. And everybody else moves in as well. Take down 3 people in flowers.
That was a
quick reaction to what was going on.
Yeah, just that flank got completely overwhelmed. But DMS is going to be fighting a scout here. He takes him down Jinx with a final shot there. EU defeats NA in a small consolation.
Yeah, rewind can be cancelled. We all know what's going to happen now.
Yeah. That was just a preview of Rewind. Right there. That's all you need to know. It looks like they're going to go through flowers right now. Cadis is just really sticking them off well, though. So everyone who came through flowers took a ton of damage. And looks like everyone is just going to have to desperately try to get out of there. And they have somewhat made it out, but that was not a very successful push.
Yeah, this whole just... And I think Cadis as well just put so much damage into them in flowers. Not enough denial from our Elektro. They desperately wanted to take this non-Uber as well. But couldn't quite manage to do it. They still have a little bit of advantage, but at this point they'll be stuck on the last. Regardless of that, since it's easily not enough to make a really convincing push out of last. And Se7en already make themselves stay welcome on lobby.
They're pushing in here with disadvantage. It looks like, okay, they have backed off.
Yeah, I think they were just looking to get some good damage early on. And they find it eventually in the lower area from lobby. They pick onto Azuna's but Jimbot manages to find Drag as a response to that. Jinx wants to get the demo pick here, but Cadis isn't alone there. Scouts with him, protects him for now.
he continues to just pressure that really aggressively here. Raymond's there to save him, but Cadus again, so
Ooh, and
weak.
Jimbot just barely misplaced the sticky there, otherwise that would have been a dead Cadus.
That was 3 times in a row, Cadus almost died. So he's basically a cat, 9 lives. So just 4 more times you got him. You got him, Aura. Let's see where they decide to go. They're gonna pressure up top, right, quite a bit aggressively here. They're not really having any presence on their own left. But, you know, Se7en, they can definitely slow it down at this point. They don't need to do anything. The longer they do nothing, the better.
But they just used the Uber in here from top right into the demo one, and it worked out. But that is all they got so far. So I don't know if this will be worth it in the long run.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to bait out the push from Aura Elektro. I'm not quite sure. That's pretty interesting. I hadn't even finished the sentence that they can do nothing forever, and then they just did something seemingly unprovoked.
Well, the question is, does this something do anything? And I think the answer is a pretty resounding no so far for Se7en. At least if our Elektro manages to not completely beef this push, and they're going for it now, uber committed. We have Drag in lower lobby, being a bit distracting.
Talas is going for the back cap as well, I think.
Well, it's 2 people behind, technically.
Yeah, oh my god, that was actually Draxoy. Just completely destroys everyone.
Yeah, they just realized that they didn't have that much of a great time on second. They wanted to move back, but it wasn't fast enough. They just got completely destroyed in lobby, like you said. And Se7en takes this round to make it a 4-1 lead now with 7 minutes left.
Yeah, or it took the bait. Hook, line, and sinker. They just pushed on it like Se7en did. So is that Se7en's new thing? Just bait people into pushing on them?
Well, I wouldn't even say it's a new thing, because I very much remember things like this happening, especially on B-Wash, with like things like a double sack into last, and then just sit outside. Very strong hold there from Se7en most of the time, and they just make use of that perfectly, like force people to make a play against them, and just capitalize off of any small mistake that happens there. So it's a similar story. The question is if this was actually planned or improvised, because I don't know if I want to believe that this Uber was planned like that.
Yeah, well, they probably knew they can get something right. They just ended up getting basically the sentry gun, and
well,
they didn't lose anything.
They didn't even get the sentry. They got the demo man, and the sentry just got spammed and stayed alive for the entire time. They wanted to get the sentry gun as well, but that didn't happen. And I think everybody watching probably realized there's a pause going on as well, because otherwise we would have had a mid fight long ago.
No, this is Se7en, dude. This is just how they always push. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm sure the server has crashed and the moon has crashed into the earth or something unimportant. Alright, there we go. Unpaused again. We don't even need to tread water here. So 4-1 for Se7en. There's about 7.5 minutes remaining. So three rounds in 7.5 minutes. That's completely doable.
7 minutes left. I think that's a sign.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't say that, because there's 7 minutes left in every game at some point, right?
But not when there's the pause happening.
Alright. Alright, I'll concede. So Drak and the Captain go in very aggressively again. Drak's going to end up on the bell tower, and now he's going to be behind lines, but he just gets taken down without really doing too much. Now it's going to be Captain coming in here, seeing if he can get the scout, but he cannot. So Se7en not really having any success with their sorter bombs in here, and that's going to be it for that middle. You see just AMS and Raymond trying to get out of last here.
Yeah, I think on both sides, just every soldier on the server struggled to get a whole lot done in this mid. And just the
AMS goes for the medic.
Big work.
Oh,
just as I say that AMS wants to go just in and get the med frag to get even more done after the mid fight, but Kelvin stays alive. Both teams have the Uber, so it's not even an advantage situation right now for our Elektro. But still, it's easily enough time to make a comeback and tie this game back up for our Elektro. They just need to like find answers quickly, and just as I say that, we find out the reason for the pause. Se7en is having connection troubles, apparently again, left the server. So yeah, same reason as last time, not too surprising. They're gonna go with this regardless of that. Just take the exchange against the Pyro. Se7en oblige, uses as well. Can't really chase too fast if they had to use pretty quickly here. Neville eats a fat direct from Captain, but stays alive for now. And our Elektro just come in with the recontest on the left side, but Cadus, with the sticky damage, takes down 3 people.
Oh, this Cadus just completely destroyed that flank. I wasn't even close. Just absolutely ate everyone for lunch, and now he's just jumping around, looking for another victim. We'll find it. Glass will steal the kill there, but yeah, Cadus just on a complete rampage. Gonna take everyone down. Gonna cap second. There's actually a single soldier jumping in here along with the scout. This is very ambitious for Elektro, and here comes another soldier again. So it does make some sort of sense, but everything's just getting completely chewed up here. And now Se7en's gonna be probably moving forward into the middle.
Basically what this all boils down to is new Cadus feels good, man. The old new Cadus is gone, the new Cadus is here, putting a whole lot of work into these games so far for Se7en. And it works out perfectly. They managed to get all the way to mid with this. And they're already looking to get second as well. But it's an even situation. Both teams almost have, not quite. Cadus really far in there. Still hits the pipe of the Jinx, who couldn't finish off the frag on him.
Oh, as soon as in the skybox. Oh, okay, he doesn't get airshot, but he does get chewed up by some scouts immediately. Falas does go down, however, and here comes the Uber, and Raymond is kind of alone with this Uber chart, so not the most fruitful Uber charts, I don't think. Cadus just going to be staring down Jimbot here, and now it's going to be a demo man on demo man fight, and they just annihilate each other. All right, that's pretty funny.
Jimbot just had sticks everywhere, including on himself, so he just trades her. And with another sword kill, why play a shooter when you just can sword everybody down instead?
Yeah, just Game of Thrones simulator right there. I sentence you to death. Just
why
cut off.
Everybody's tier 2 when Amps is playing Chivalry.
Yeah, exactly how it works. See a pretty aggressive soldier right there, so that was just Drak peeking forward, trying to get out any information on the enemy's position. He will find it and then just back off. Looks like Captain's once again going to see if he can get some spam in here, but Captain has been having a little bit of trouble this game, just overextending it a bit alone and then dying, and then the enemy team can push off of it. So he's probably going to best off being a little bit more careful, but Se7en, I think they know if they just hold at this point. If they just hold for like a minute, they literally can't lose.
Well, but where's the fun in that?
Oh,
so they decide to do stuff in the lobby entrance, but Cadus has to play with his life foot. Oh, Elektro, really aggressive in lobby now, but while this is happening, Drag just jumps in from under and gets on a point pretty much for free. And yeah, that's a quick backup, and Se7en up 5-1 now.
Yeah, that was a good push by Elektro though. Like, they had to do that, because otherwise it would just be completely impossible.
I disagree. It would have been a good push if anything would have stopped Drag there.
Yeah, that was slight detail. Alright. I agree, they should probably have stopped that. Let's see, I think Drag's going for his super jump. Oh, he messed it up. Damn. I was about to praise him.
Yeah, Elektro is super slow to win though. And this doesn't, why it's even intentional, because like everybody was that slow without any particular off classes to force that pace. Anyway, Azunas takes the initiative, is the first one to jump into Se7en, gets Captain, and Neville gets pick as well, and Elektro just wants to work off these picks, but Flash has something to say about it, sneaks under the point, cleans up Callum, and it's pretty even fight so far, and this just comes down to better DM, and so far it's looking better for Elektro. They pick up Flash as well. Cadus barely protects himself from Jinx there, and the fight just doesn't end.
He just keeps on going, and Jimbot unfortunately took a lot of damage from himself, and then Captain just comes in, hits every single rocket that he shoots. That's going to be it for that middle. I don't think they're quite done yet, though. Captain's still on the chase. There's actually Soldier trying to go onto the medic. He will get Cadus to... Okay, now surely it's over. Yeah, it's just a scout and a soldier in the lobby right here. And the scout is behind. He has been spotted, though. And yeah, Draco is taken down with an easy rocket. Uber has come in here to last. Kelvin just desperately trying to get 4 Uber saws to get an Uber. That's really difficult, but that's going to be it. Se7en will win 6-1 by win difference, and they will take the entire match 2 maps to 0 and get 6 points in this week 1 matchup.
Yeah, pretty good showing on Se7en. They took a while at the beginning of process, but they continue to be pretty strong on Sunshine as well. So yeah, as long as they can like fall in, and in general for the rest of the season, just start the strong showing early on, they don't have too much to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. That was a very good showing, in my opinion. And looks like we do have them ready to interview, but let's just look at some logs first and see what's up. And if I had to say something, like Cadus again having like a ton of damage.
Like I said, new Cadus has arrived.
Yeah, new Cadus. That's the one. And AMS's KD is also crazy this game. Just really playing the Pocket Scout to perfection. Just doing work.
Well, more like the Pocket Swordsman, really.
Yeah, the head... Is it called a headsman? Yeah, the main headsman. Isn't that what they call executioners?
Yeah, 28 and 7 is a strong KD. 6.7 in KD in total. Cadus followed that with 22 and 12. Died a couple more times than most of the rest of his team, besides Drag. And, well, I say that Drag and Captain both died more than him. They had to die quite a bit on mid, though.
Yeah, probably. Jimbot again also doing quite a bit of damage, and then the heal spread looks a little bit different on this map. Interestingly enough, it looks like both teams put a bunch of heals into their pockets, and then after that came the Pocket Scout. So I'm not quite sure what the reason for that is. But Soon is taking out quite a lot more heals than Drak. I suppose is interesting, and also somehow Raymond dodges any kind of spy drops this time around, so he will have 0.
We can safely assume that Raymond knows exactly what he's doing at any moment. Average time before using exactly 69 seconds. So he knows he knows how to count his time. Looking at damage, yeah, you mentioned Cadus Captain just on top of the game. I always like to look at air shots just because it's just fun to see who had the most crazy shots. It looks like Captain wins in that regard, followed by Drag with 9 and 7 respectively.
I saw a lot of air shots from Captain. Like some big ones and some, well, not really any big ones, but like he had a lot of like medium-sized air shots that didn't really get too many kills and just completely destroyed the momentum of a soldier and then just kind of half won the mid for them. So
yeah, you don't necessarily need to hit like the big damage air shots all the time, or just the crazy ones across the map that deal 30 damage. As long as you hit like the small ones consistently, it's a direct rocket deals a lot of damage, at least more than the splash rocket would in that situation, and that's all that really counts.
Yeah, and relative frags by zone, not really a whole lot to say here. It's notable that AMS plus 10 on middle, and then there was only like a single push onto 7th last, I think, and that was where Cadus got 3 kills. So I think that's that's what happened down there. Or is it? Yeah, I don't even know. I always get these these ones mixed up. Yeah, it's not really something that too interesting when it's close. Let's just see the Nemesis stat. That's the only one that's fun for me for these. There you go. And we see AMS destroying Callum again with +8 this time around. So just even more onus from him. But Nero also just taking Drak to town.
And I think we have people coming in for interviews any second now, or looking at Marvel, there's already people here.
Yep, we are joined by Jimbot and... no. Oh my god. Please don't ever do that again. Yep, that was the interviews, guys.
Good interviews.
Yeah, that was good fun. Good fun. Alright. Let's see, is there anything more? Like, when is the next match? I don't actually even know when next match is. I would assume this Sunday. I think there's a match there, and then there was also another match tonight, which I don't know the result of. But that was the one I was really hyped for. I'm all about Rakuzen, baby. I know they can do it.
Nunya Basku in 3 days, yeah.
3 days, alright. So, yeah, definitely make sure to catch that one. But for tonight, I think we should just round it out. It's gotten a little bit late, and you kids all need to go to sleep because I'm tired. So that's hard work. But yeah, big shout out to Gemm on production as always. I know there were some replays. The worst part about casting, I think you would agree, is that we don't get to see all the sick replays that Gemm was showing.
Well, if you manage to find everything you save in the game, it shouldn't be too much of a problem at least. So you at least saw it once.
Yeah, and of course, is this your first cast ever for TFTV?
Second.
Second, all right. Well, I enjoyed it immensely casting with you. So thank you so thank you a lot for joining me tonight, and thank you all for watching as well. We will be back this Sunday with who knows who. I think it's actually me casting, or maybe Ombrak will do it instead. So that's definitely going to be good times, good games, and I hope you have a good night as well. Bye-bye.